In international politics, one can never predict when the relations between one country and another will be good or when they will deteriorate. A similar situation was witnessed a few days ago at the White House. Diplomatic relations are generally based on the private interests of countries. Recently, the country that called India its friend, the United States, had lunch with one of India's main adversaries, the Pakistani army chief. This lunch was hosted by the White House. But the big question is, was this just a lunch or the beginning of some another diplomatic relationship behind the scenes? Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir was not invited by Trump just like that, was he? Is Washington's inclination now shifting towards Islamabad instead of New Delhi? In today's episode, we will try to find answers to such questions. Before moving forward, let's take a brief introduction of Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir. General Munir was promoted to Pakistan's first Field Marshal in May 2025. He thus became the second person in Pakistan's history to reach this highest military rank. This promotion was due to his leadership abilities in his role in Operation Bunyani-ul-Marsus, which thwarted India's aggression and ensured national security. And currently, when India-Pakistan relations are unusual, inviting Asim Munir to the White House for lunch is certainly not normal. However, President Trump called it an important step towards avoiding war between two nuclear powers. He also thanked General Munir for stopping the conflict after India's Operation Sindoor. It is noteworthy that earlier the United States had offered to mediate the dispute between India and Pakistan over the Kashmir issue. However, India has always rejected the role of American mediation in resolving the conflict between the two countries. But Pakistan has taken the meeting at the White House in a positive light. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif saw this as a new beginning in US-Pakistan relations. No political statements have been made so far regarding the meeting held under the name of this lunch, but this meeting certainly raises some questions for India. While strengthening its defense relations with India, such an initiative towards Pakistan could raise questions about America's defense cooperation with Pakistan and its policy on terrorism. The United States will have to ensure that any relationship with Pakistan does not weaken its growing strategic and defense partnership with India, which is an important power balance against China's growing influence. On the other hand, from US's perspective, it appears that United States wants to maintain relations with Pakistan, especially due to its role in Afghanistan and regional security. Additionally, the US wants to maintain its presence in South Asia, but this will depend on how the US balances Pakistan's expectations with its partnerships with India. The United States is trying to maintain strategic relationships with both countries, but maintaining this balance is challenging because it has relations with both India and Pakistan. Only time will tell how the US can establish a balance in its diplomatic relations with both countries. Recently, after the attacks by Israel on Iran, global oil prices have surged, which is a significant economic indicator. The escalating conflict between Iran and Israel has raised concerns about the security of the Hormuz Strait, a crucial route for global oil supply. This strait accounts for nearly 20% of the global oil supply, and Iran has stated that it could block this route, which could severely disrupt global oil supply. The rise in oil prices could increase the risk of inflation, leading to a higher energy cost in developing countries and potential economic instability. Recently, Russian President Vladimir Putin stated that NATO's rearmament poses no threat to Russia. He claimed that Russia is self-sufficient in ensuring its security. NATO countries are considered increasing their military budgets by up to 5%. NATO, short for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance formed to ensure collective security among its member countries. Currently, it has 32 member countries including the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and most of Europe. Recently, the United States resumed the visa interview process for foreign students, but also implemented a new controversial rule. Now, all student visa applications will be required to make their social media profiles public. According to the US State Department, this step was taken for national security reasons. Officials will review the applicants' online activities to ensure that they are not hostile to the US, its government, culture, institutions, or founding principles. If an applicant does not make their social media profile public, it will be considered suspicious and the visa application may be rejected. Now, let's conclude the discussion here and note today's question. Looking at the increasing tension between India and Pakistan and the diplomatic situation after the US meeting with the Pakistani army chief, what could be the impact on India-US relations? In this context, what kind of diplomatic strategies should India adopt?
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.